Welcome back to When Harry Met Board Games, where we feed our people with relatable content, and our victory condition is your satisfaction. I'm Harry, and today we're going to be continuing our People's Choice Top 100 Board Games of all time. Today we'll be covering games number 30 through 21. I have surveyed over 3,100 board game influencers, content creators, reviewers, designers, and publishers, and these are the results that we've come up with. So without any further ado, let's get straight to the list. The People's Choice number 30 board game of all time is Quacks of Quedelenburg. In this game, players take on the role of quacks or charlatan doctors, all brewing up their own secret concoctions. Each player has their own individual bag of ingredients, and on each round, all the players are simultaneously drawing chips from those bags and placing those chips onto their respective pots. There are very particular placement rules that players have to account for as far as where chips are placed onto their pots. There's definitely a push your luck element, as too many cherry bombs can cause your pots to explode. This game currently, as of this recording, is ranked on BGG at number 65. I'd like to take this time out to highlight these names right here as people who have all chosen Quacks of Quedelenburg as their favorite game of all time. As far as the People's Choice is concerned, it's number 30. The People's Choice number 29 board game of all time is Zombiecide, and in particular, this right here is the Black Plague edition. I have lumped up all the votes that I gathered as far as Zombiecide is concerned, all into this respective spot. However, for the most part, most people were choosing Zombiecide Black Plague as their iteration of Zombiecide that they prefer. Now, as far as the game is concerned, in this game, players are all taking on the role of survivors, fighting off a horde of zombies and their zombie lords. This is a cooperative game where players are working together in order to accomplish their objectives. The Black Plague edition in particular has a medieval fantastical element to it that enhances the mystique and the tension that comes with a game with this type of theme. Players are all working to equip their survivors with the best weapons and armor possible, picking up spell books along the way, all in the efforts to fight off this wave of zombies. This game has lots of content, lots of expansions and spin-offs and sequels as far as this franchise is concerned, and it's known for its easy point of entry into the gaming system. It's a very intuitive game to learn. This game currently, as of this recording, is ranked on BGG at number 180, so it's considerably higher on the People's Choice list. I'd like to take this time out to highlight these names right here on the screen. These people have all chosen Zombiecide or Zombiecide Black Plague as their favorite game of all time. As far as the People's Choice is concerned, it's number 29. The People's Choice number 28 board game of all time is Orleans. And here we have yet another bag builder on this short list. First we had Quacks of Quedelenburg, now we have Orleans. And this game has a medieval French setting in which players are all working to request the support and the aid of different figures in the city. Anywhere from farmers and merchants to knights and monks, who each provide different benefits to the player. You're moving across the cities, across Orleans, and you're expanding your dominance through use of your followers. You're building trade stations and you're trying to advance and make scientific progress. This game currently, as of this recording, is ranked number 25 on BGG's rankings, so it's more or less in the same range as far as the People's Choice is concerned. I'd like to take this time out to highlight the names on the screen right here. These people have all chosen Orleans as their absolute favorite board game of all time. As far as the People's Choice is concerned, it's number 28. The People's Choice number 27 board game of all time is Gaia Project. And this game here is a re-implementation and progression of the Terra Mystica system, albeit with a sci-fi space theme tacked onto it. This game still includes 14 different factions, just like in Terra Mystica. Players are working to terraform the planets around them, colonize them, turn them into Gaia planets. And in this game, players are trying to advance in 6 different areas of technology. Again, this game is a little sister to Terra Mystica, although it has eclipsed and surpassed it in popularity. So if you like the Terra Mystica game system and appreciate science fiction and space exploration type themes, then this is a game you might want to try. This game currently, as of this recording, is ranked as high as number 8 on BGG's rankings, so it's significantly higher over there. I'd like to take this time to highlight these names right here on the screen. These people have all chosen Gaia Project as their absolute favorite board game of all time. As far as the People's Choice is concerned, it's number 27. The People's Choice number 26 board game of all time is Twilight Imperium 4th edition. And talk about another epic space game. We just had one previously, and this game is the space opera par excellence. In this game, players are participating in the exploration of the cosmos. They're conquering and vanquishing their enemies. They're engaging in political intrigue and forming alliances. They're researching technologies. This game has both public and private objectives that players are trying to accomplish in order to give them more points. This game is notorious for its extensive length of play. The time of play listed is ranging from 4 to 8 hours, depending on player count and the experience of the players involved. This game currently, as of this recording, is ranked number 5 on BGG's rankings. So again, it ranks considerably higher on that list. I'd like to take this time out to highlight the names on the screen right here. These people have all chosen Twilight Imperium 4th edition as their favorite board game of all time. As far as the People's Choice is concerned, it's number 26. Hey everybody, if you're enjoying this video, please take a second to click on that like button down below. And while you're at it, click on that subscribe button as well and help us reach our year-end goal of 1 million subscribers. Wait, what? What you mean goals are supposed to be realistic? Who the heck says goals have to be realistic? Click that like button down below, and while you're at it, click on that subscribe button and help us reach our year-end goal of 10,000 subscribers. You're kidding me.
I wish I knew how to roll my eyes.
Click on the like button and subscribe to our channel and help us reach our year-end goal of 3,000 subscribers. You happy now? Are you satisfied? The People's Choice number 25 board game of all time is Arkham Horror, the card game, the living card game. Yet another game in the Arkham Horror File line of games produced by Fantasy Flight. This game here, just like all these other games, takes place within the Cthulhu mythos, the Lovecraftian universe, where players all take on the role of investigators trying to fight off different monsters and bad guys who are breaking into this reality through portals, and also ultimately trying to fight off the Elder Ones, the Ancient Ones, who are the big bads as far as this game is concerned. This is a cooperative game, as most games in the Eldritch Horror, Arkham Horror line of games are. And in this game, based on the investigators that players choose to play, they have particular decks that come with particular cards. As in most living card games, as players get more comfortable and experienced with the game, they can participate in more deck construction, and there's lots of booster packs and expansions and additional content that players can acquire. All of the scenarios in this game can be tied into one bigger campaign, so you can play one scenario after another. And all of the big box expansions include their own campaigns and the Mythos packs that they can add to their gaming experience going forward. As with most of these Cthulhu games, this is a very narrative-driven game. There's lots of text to read in all of the different cards, lots of flavor text, lots of story text, and it's definitely a very immersive experience. And it's many people's favorite game to play solo. This game currently, as of this recording, is ranked number 22 on BGG's rankings. I'd like to take this time out to highlight the names on the screen right here. These people have all chosen Arkham Horror, the living card game, as their number 1 board game of all time. As far as the People's Choice is concerned, it's number 25. The People's Choice number 24 board game of all time is Blood Rage. And this game here carries a very strong Norse mythological theme. In this game, players each take control of a Viking clan and its leader and its ship. Ragnarok is upon us, the Norse apocalypse, the end of the world, and all the Vikings are striving to go down in a blaze of glory and earn their place in Valhalla, in the Hall of Heroes, in the afterlife. Players are engaging in typical Viking activity. They're pillaging, they're plundering, they're invading, they're partaking in combat, in battle. And at the beginning of the game, players each draft cards, the gift of the gods, that grant them certain advantages and guide their strategies for the game. This game features lots of area majority and a card-based conflict resolution system. Blood Rage, as of this recording, is ranked number 33 on BGG's ranking, so there's not too much of a deviation there. I'd like to take this time out to highlight these names on the screen right now. These people have all chosen Blood Rage as their absolute favorite game of all time. As far as the People's Choice is concerned, it's number 24. The People's Choice number 23 board game of all time is Seven Wonders Duel. And this is the two-player only implementation of the bigger, popular Seven Wonders game designed by Antoine Boza. This one here is a co-design with Bruno Cathala. And basically, Seven Wonders is a ancient civilization-themed game where players are all trying to build and develop their civilizations, which all revolve around their wonder. In Seven Wonders, you only had one wonder. In Seven Wonders Duel, players are going to have multiple wonders. I believe it's 4 per player. And players are trying to advance their civilization in many different areas, in culture, in science, in military, in commerce. And they're drafting different cards that help them in their objectives. These cards grant them abilities, they grant them victory points at the end of the game, they grant them money, which is a very useful resource throughout the game. This game takes place in 3 different rounds corresponding with 3 different eras or ages, just like the original Seven Wonders did. The difference in this game is that instead of using the pick and pass card drafting mechanism that Seven Wonders is famous for, instead you have a pre-constructed market of cards, if you will, that are placed on the table that players are drafting one at a time. But some cards are covered by other cards and are therefore not available until they are uncovered. Also, some of the cards on the tableau are face down, so you don't even know what's there, while others are face up, so you can plan and anticipate and work your strategy to eventually get those cards. Another big difference that this game features is that players can win this game in other ways just than victory points. You can win this game by having a military conquest. If your opponent neglects their military too much, then you can win in that area. Or you can have a scientific victory. If you advance in many different areas of science and your opponent did not do anything to stop you, then you can win this game. This game definitely evokes a lot of tug-of-war type emotion in players, as sometimes you are avoiding a particular card because it will uncover another card and make it available for your opponent, and you don't want that to happen. This game currently, as of this recording, is ranked number 17 on BGG's ranking, so it's a little bit higher. I'd like to take this time out to highlight the names on the screen right here. These people have all chosen Seven Wonders Duel as their favorite game of all time. As far as the People's Choice is concerned, it's number 23. The People's Choice number 22 board game of all time is Azul. And what can I say about this massively popular game? First of all, this game has produced a trilogy, 2 sequels, Azul Summer Pavilion and Azul Stained Glass of Sintra. These games have all gotten lots of votes as far as this survey is concerned, and I actually counted them as separate entries. So Azul by itself was by far and away the most popular out of those 3 games, and the only one that made it to the People's Choice Top 100. This is an abstract strategy game where players are drafting different tiles at the beginning of the game and placing them on their player boards and trying to match the patterns on their grid, on their player grid, with the tiles that they draft. And every time they place down a tile, they're able to score a point, and they'll score points for tiles that are adjacent to it. What's interesting is that when you draft these tiles, you don't immediately place them onto the particular player grid. Instead, there is this area on the side that has different allotments there, ranging from 1 through 5, and until you fill that row, you're not able to slide a tile down to the right in order to place it on your grid. So manipulating that situation is a very clever experience. Also, when players draft their tiles, they have to draft all the tiles that are found on a disc that match the color they're taking. So they want a red, they can't just take one red if there's 2 reds on it. And they might not have space for that red. And if you take too many tiles, more than you can accommodate, then you actually score negative points. So striking that balance is the crux of the game. This game is a beautiful, gorgeous game, a testament to what the board game hobby has evolved into, and a great gateway game, not only for abstract games, but also for games in general. This game is currently, as of this recording, ranked on BGG at number 50, so it's considerably higher on the People's Choice list, and it's no surprise to me that a demographic that appreciates the aesthetic and visual appeal of games would have this game ranked higher. I'd like to take this time out to highlight the names on the screen right here. These people have all chosen Azul as their absolute favorite board game of all time. As far as the People's Choice is concerned, it's number 22. And finally, the last board game for today's list and the People's Choice number 21 game of all time is Agricola, designed by Uwe Rosenberg, the classic agricultural game where players take on the role of farmers who are trying to grow their accommodations in order to grow their families, in order to have more workers to do what they need to do, which is basically partake in the planting of different crops, the reaping of said crops, and some animal husbandry where you are raising a bunch of animals and breeding those animals. You got pigs and you got sheep and you've got cattle. This game also comes with an expansion, the Farmers in the Moor expansion, which adds horses as an additional animal type, and it adds fuel as an additional resource type. This game is notorious for being a very restrictive and stingy game because players cannot just focus in one area because they will be docked or penalized for neglecting certain areas. They will lose points if they neglect areas altogether. And also they cannot build too much in one area because every particular area in which you could score has a cap or a cutoff point as far as points is concerned. But the cool thing about this game is that it's a worker placement game where each round you reveal a card which adds an additional worker placement spot to the board. So as the game evolves, there are more worker placement options for players to choose. Also, at the beginning of the game, players partake in a card draft of two different card types. You have your minor improvement cards and you have your occupation cards. And you draft these cards ahead of the game. And these cards are going to give you different advantages in particular areas and kind of reward you for choosing particular actions. And it kind of maps out your strategy for the game. So you're kind of long-term planning how the game is going to carry out from the very beginning. And hopefully, if you're successful, you'll be able to carry out your plans and be victorious. And don't forget to feed your people. This game, as of this recording, is currently ranked number 32 on BGG's rankings. And on BGG, while Caverna is ranked higher on that list, as far as the People's Choice is concerned, Agricola is the more popular game. I'd like to take this time out to highlight the names on the screen right here. These people have all chosen Agricola as their favorite game of all time. As far as the People's Choice is concerned, it's number 21. And that's it for today's list, folks. Thank you so much for joining us here for another episode of the People's Choice Top 100 Board Games of All Time. Stay tuned as we draw closer and ever nearer to the number one game of all time. Next video, we're going to be covering games number 20 through 11, so you don't want to miss it. This is Harry saying take care, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have fun gaming. Bye-bye.